I move second reading of Bill 217, an act to proclaim the month of June as Filipino Heritage Month.
Ms. Begum has moved second reading of Bill 217, an act to proclaim the month of June as Filipino Heritage Month.
It is an honor to rise on behalf of the good people of Scarborough Southwest to debate Bill 217, an act to proclaim the month of June as Filipino Heritage Month. This bill has been championed by leaders and activists of the Filipino community for many years, and it is my privilege to stand here today and bring this bill forward. I wish we could have had members of the Filipino community here with us in the Ontario Legislature's gallery, but unfortunately, with the circumstances, we are not able to have them physically here today. However, I do want to take a moment and say mabuhay to the community members who are watching this live. I want to say thank you to all of you for your support that you have shown for this bill. Filipinos began migrating to Canada around the 1930s and started building what is now a proud and wonderful community that boasts over 800,000 members across this country. With almost 40% of all Filipino Canadians, approximately 330,000, living in Ontario, we're so proud to be home to this community, whose contributions to our culture and economy have been enormous. Filipino Canadians are an integral part of Ontario. In fact, Tagalog is the 5th most spoken language in the Greater Toronto Area, and Toronto is home to the highest percentage of Filipino Canadians as well. Over the years, Filipino Canadians have built a strong community here in Ontario, a closely knit community that takes pride in their history, culture, heritage, and language. Filipino Canadians also take immense pride in serving and uplifting our diverse communities. I'm extremely fortunate to not only represent, but also live in Scarborough Southwest, a riding that is home to a prominent Filipino community. I had the privilege of building close friendships and fortunate to have Filipino community leaders supporting our community. From healthcare to hospitality, restaurant industry, Filipino Canadians have made enormous contributions. I want to recognize Julius Naredo, who in our community is known as Kuya, in Tagalog, it's big brother, and through his work empowers and supports youth across Scarborough. I also want to recognize Hector Catre, who is the founder and the chair of the Scarborough Bluffs Community Association and has been working hard to help our community remain informed and connected during this pandemic. We also have the famous Filipino Canadian, some Filipino Canadians from Scarborough, like Eric Bauza, who made our community proud by becoming the voice of the iconic Bugs Bunny amongst his many other notable roles. Over the last years, I have had the opportunity to hear from many Filipino Canadians from all across this province. Just last week, as we met virtually with one group, it was heartwarming to see Filipino Canadians from many walks of life coming together and sharing their love for their community as they took the time to share what celebrating Filipino Heritage Month meant to them. I was joined by Paulina Carpuz, a Filipino-Canadian community leader who has been working tirelessly to make Filipino Heritage Month a reality in Ontario. Paulina has been leading the Philippines Independence Day Council and PATAC. Another strong voice for this bill has been Ben Carpuz, the chair of Filipino Workers Network and vice president external of the Philippines Independence Day Council and vice chair of the Kababayan Multicultural Center. Paulina and Ben are exemplary leaders in their community and have continuously shown support for this bill and celebrating Filipino heritage across this country. I heard from Nana, who lovingly asked us to refer to her as Lola, or grandmother in Tagalog. Lola is the past president of Philippines Center Canada and an active member in Ottawa's Filipino community. Lola shared how happy she was seeing that Filipino Heritage Month was close to becoming a reality in Ontario. People like Lola have spent years organizing with the Filipino community to create spaces for community members to succeed, connect, and have an opportunity to stay rooted in their culture. During this pandemic, I had the chance to also meet with the Philippines Chamber of Commerce and some incredible Filipino small businesses as they shared their innovative ways they were helping the community and how we can better support them. Hearing about this bill, Steve Pagao, the president of the Philippines Chamber of Commerce, said the following: Filipinos are resilient, dedicated, and most of all, hardworking. They give their best in what they do and will sacrifice their lives for others as exemplified by Filipino frontliners during this pandemic. It is in the spirit that we deplore the kindest consideration of Ontario parliamentarians to provide the opportunity for Filipino Ontarians to have the time to exercise, enjoy, and embrace the rich culture and heritage of the Philippines. From Malaya, Canada, Olivia Camacho also shared her support in stating that, and I quote, "I love my country as much as I love this new land we now call our home. We need to be in touch with our roots and we need to stay close to our heritage and culture because there is so much that we can share and need to share with our younger generation." We also heard from younger Filipino Canadians like Alia Rasul, the founding member of the Tita Collective and artistic director of Tawa Comedy Festival. Alia is a young poet who writes as Super Filipina, also shared the importance of involving young Filipino Canadians into political discourse and the importance of representation in the arts. I heard from Richmond Wee, a student from the University of Toronto and an active volunteer working on research and funding for the Filipino Youth Fellowship, a program that helps young Filipino Canadians find positions within the city governments and in public service. Richmond pointed out that Filipino Canadians are heavily underrepresented in politics, something that the Filipino Youth Fellowship is actively working to address. Today, I am grateful to be standing here, bringing these voices that have often been underrepresented in politics. Richmond shared how grateful he was to see that there is work being done to recognize Filipino Heritage Month in this province. Now I want to bring your attention back to the current reality we're in, experiencing an unprecedented public health and economic crisis that has impacted every single one of us in many ways. I don't think any of my colleagues here would disagree when I say that this pandemic has actually impacted our frontline healthcare workers the most: doctors, nurses, personal support workers, caregivers. Filipino Canadians make up a significant portion of the care and health economy in Canada and here in Ontario. This pandemic has shown us how strong and resilient our communities can be, but it has also made the difficult reality of anti-Asian racism even more prominent. Racism and violence, which has also impacted the Filipino Canadian community here. Recently, I had the opportunity to connect with Annabelle Ragsag from the Filipinos of HEMONT, or Hamilton, Ontario, an organization that centers Filipino women, to discuss the latest horrifying incident of violence against Asian women and the impact this past year has had on the Filipino community and the Asian community at large. We must confront anti-Asian racism at every single opportunity, and as we take this moment to celebrate the work and service of Filipino Canadian healthcare and all essential workers, we must also acknowledge the impact this past year has had on them. Having an opportunity to mark June as Filipino Heritage Month, especially this year, provides us with the unique and necessary opportunity to recognize the tremendous service and sacrifice that Filipino Canadian healthcare workers have made to keep this province going. People like Jocelyn Mendoza from the Integrated Filipino Canadian Nurses Association. Jocelyn is a registered nurse who has supported our community for many years. People like Mary Grace, a registered nurse practitioner supporting healthcare workers through an RPN program here in Ontario. Veronica Javier, who is a registered social worker working at the front lines at Scarborough Health Network and an organizer for the Filipino and Filipinx Canadian Social Services Workers Network, and she's also an instructor at the York University. I would also like to take a moment to remember the many incredible people, especially from the Filipino community, who have been working tirelessly in our healthcare sector, and remember the life of Christine Mendegarian, a 54-year-old personal support worker, a Filipino Canadian from Scarborough who dedicated over 30 years of her life caring for people in our province, and recently, during this pandemic, lost her life to COVID-19 as she went to work. This community's sacrifice and the service throughout this pandemic to ensure our health and safety has been immense and must be recognized. Madam Speaker, I would be remiss if I didn't recognize the work of many Filipino Canadians like Marisa Corpus, the national spokesperson for Malaya Movement in Canada, as well as a journalist for Filipino Canadian outlet. Joel Gomes, an urban gardening enthusiast who works on building resilient gardens with Toronto urban growers. Nova de Leon from the Philippines Advancement for Arts and Culture, who has been a strong advocate for the arts. Marie Chris Sampang, a community service worker who finds ways to connect members of the Filipino community in Scarborough. Scarborough with help and support that they need. Narissa Carino, community organizer in Pickering, Uxbridge. Arlinda Insigne from the Filipino-Canadian Association of Vaughan. Monica Krista de Vera, another young leader from the Filipino Youth Fellowship. Morian Tolentino, another one from Filipino Youth Fellowship. And Zania Castanos from the Urban Alliance on Race Relations, as well as the Brampton City Councillor, Rowena Santos, another champion who's fighting hard for her community in Brampton. And of course, Dr. Eileen Davila, the medical officer of health in the city of Toronto. Speaker, the Filipino community's sacrifice has been enormous, and it's time to recognize them. It is in the spirit of these people, the stories of Filipino Canadians, and the profound impact that they have had on Ontario throughout their community and service, that I ask the members, my colleagues and the members of this House from all parties to show their support for this community and vote in favor of Bill 217 so that Filipino Canadians across this province have the opportunity to recognize and celebrate the month of June this year as Filipino Heritage Month. Thank you, Speaker. I want to thank all the members from all different parties for their support and for their remarks. As we have heard, June 12th is celebrated as Philippines Independence Day across the world, and it's a significant month for the community, and that's why we're asking for Philippines Heritage Month to be recognized for June as well. The federal government actually proclaimed the month of June as Filipino Heritage Month in 2019. It is also proclaimed in Manitoba, British Columbia, and the city of Montreal, as well as in the city of Toronto, which was declared in 2017 as well. Speaker, a number of Filipino Canadians have been on the front lines during this pandemic, many as healthcare workers, caregivers, in all different essential service roles, which makes this time an opportune time for this recognition, and I think it's well-deserved for the Filipino community. Over 90% of migrant caregivers are Filipino Canadians. 5.6% of all healthcare workers in Canada are Filipino Canadians. Speaker, I also want to take a moment to acknowledge that in 2017, it was my colleague from Toronto Danforth, the NDP member from Toronto Danforth, Peter Tabbins, who brought this bill forward initially, as well as the member from Scarborough North from the government side, right now the Minister of Accessibility, who brought it forward later on, as well as in 2018, the member from Eglinton Lawrence was the Liberal member who brought this bill forward. So I acknowledge all party support, and I find that since all parties have brought this bill forward in the past, this will be something that we can make happen this time in 2021. Speaker, this is for the 330,000 Filipino Canadians who call Ontario their home. It is important that they have this recognition and opportunity to have their culture and identity celebrated across this province. Thank you, Speaker.
The time provided for private members' public business has expired. Ms. Begum has moved second reading of Bill 217, an act to proclaim the month of June as Filipino Heritage Month. Is it the pleasure of the House that the motion carry? I declare the motion carried.